Marriage pressure. शादी कब कर रहे हो बेटा? Does it stop there? Once you get married, do we leave women ki okay fine, now you're married, now you lead your own life?
Feminism is not just about equality, but there are people who will ask you, when will you get married? And after you get married, when will you have kids?
Hi everyone, welcome to the first episode of Unmute Yourself, where we are going to have some real, raw, and the unspoken challenges faced by women. When we talk about real and raw, we might be getting into some difficult conversations. So let's get started. Hi, I am Preeti, your host, and today I have my amazing friend Gauri here with me. Hi Gauri.
Thank you, Preeti, for having me on this platform.
Great. So just to give you a gist, Gauri and I have been together since last 13 years. We know each other since last 13 years. So we are in this stage where we, just look at each other and we know, and that's the power of sisterhood, a topic that we would cover in the upcoming episodes. So let's get started with today's episode, and it would be the silent pressure, because I'm using the word silent because the pressure is all there. We just need to deal with it. So to talk about silent pressure and starting the episode with young women, the challenges that we face as young women, marriage pressure. Shadi kab kar rahe ho beta? So Gauri, how many times was this question asked to you?
Oh, I think all the time. I think completely all the time. The moment a woman turns 24, 25 onwards, people, relatives specifically around us, they keep hovering with this question. Maybe not our parents so much now, but there are people who will ask you, when will you get married? And after you get married, when will you have kids? Right? So that silent pressure of doing everything at the right time is so important in a woman's life.
Does it feel like that ticking clock, hamare sar pe talwar latak rahi hai, tak, 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 okay.
Correct. I think you've rightly put. It's like an invisible clock, right? Which we all have, and things are supposed to happen at a decent amount of time. And if it doesn't, then people start judging you.
Like that expiry date. Do you have an expiry date with that?
So it's like a job application, right? You apply before 30, otherwise you are deemed expired.
Wow. Seriously, it actually sounds funny, but still as a society...
It's sad actually.
It is sad, and it is even sadder because we are also part of the society and we also have some opinions like that. But when we talk about marriages, that getting married, but does it stop there? Once you get married, do we leave women ki, okay fine, now you're married, now you lead your own life? So do we stop there?
I think for women, and genuinely this is what I feel, it never stops. It starts with the point that you have to get married at a certain time. By 28 you should be married. By 31 you should have your first child. By 33 you should do this. It's kind of like a defined timeline. I mean, who has defined this timeline? Strictly speaking, why do even women adhere to these timelines?
I guess it has more to do with the tag of superwoman that we are, like
perfection. I think what we want to achieve.
Exactly. We often take those assumed responsibilities. Okay, I am supposed to take care of everything, right? Be it my home, be it my kids, taking them out, be it my office if I'm working there. So it is all, we juggle, but at the end of the day, we also break down, right? We are human at the end of the day. But still we are doing all of this. So it does not even stop at marriage. So marriage is just the starting point. Maybe it would have started before that also.
So you actually had put the right word, silent pressure, right?
Yes.
Nobody has defined it for us, but as women, we take this silent pressure. We kind of make it upon ourselves to be the best mom, the best wife, the best boss in town, right? So women do this onto themselves. We subject this to ourselves. We want this validation, and that is why we do this.
Great. Now, suddenly one incident has come to my mind. Now what happens? We are talking about marriage, and it's like, okay, it starts even before that. I'll tell you a recent conversation I had with my 13-year-old. She is a football player, right? She goes, plays down and plays with all the elder boys, like 15, 16, 17-year-olds and everything, and 13-year-old boys as well. Of lately, she had stopped going down to play football particularly. And when I asked her, she said, no, they'll bully me. Like, what do you mean bully them? Bully you? You can just take your football, you can play something. No, then they asked me that you should go to the kitchen. Now here the question arises.
So cliche, man.
A 13-year-old boy would not know how that he is supposed to tell a girl to go to the kitchen. So it comes back to the parents.
Parenting.
Right? No offenses to the parents here, but somewhere that 13-year-old boy has seen that, okay, women belong in kitchen and boys can go out and play football and something. So when we are talking about the pressure that women feel, are we just responsible for taking care of our girls, or here we have a bigger responsibility of teaching our boys as well how to take care, what they speak and what kind of actions they exhibit?
Completely. I think we've, in the last few years, we've managed to teach our girls how to be better. But we've not taught our boys to be better.
That's so true.
I think once we achieve that, and I really feel it is a mother's responsibility. If I am able to make my son understand that this is right, this is acceptable, and this is not acceptable,
Correct.
I think eventually life will be easier for women.
That's so true. And when we talk about the silent pressure, and that's where the question again comes to, does this exist for men as well when we talk about this?
Completely not. I mean, my opinion again, but I don't think these silent pressures exist for women. This invisible clock, as I said, or this silent pressure of maintaining a house, having a perfect lifestyle, perfect family. Nobody asks a man at 35 that, when are you getting married? But for a woman, you go to an interview, this is something an employee will ask you. I mean, who has given them the right to figure out
we all have faced that. How are you going to manage children? How are you going to manage your home and office both? Come on, even men have a home to go back to. Do we ask them at the interviews that how are you going to manage both the fronts? No.
Yeah. So feminism is not just about equality. It's also accepting that equality across the society that we stay in.
So we have come a long way, but I guess we really have a long way.
We still have a long way to go.
We have a long way to go. And with the dual responsibility of taking care of our daughters, but at the same time making our sons even more responsible. So as a society, because we are a part of the society, we are the ones who will have to take this kind of step, right?
Correct.
So Gauri, if we have to sum this discussion up in a single sentence or something like that.
See, very difficult to put it in a sentence, but I'll tell you, over the years, women, and this is what I have learned, and I would like to convey this, women never knew how to draw boundaries around them. We never knew how to define success for ourselves. Today, I can be a homemaker. I can have the best house, the best family, the best kept home, and I can still be called successful, right? Just because I'm not working does not mean I am not successful. So at every given point of time, we need to know what is acceptable. We need to define what success means to us, and we need to be comfortable with that definition of success. We should not let society define that definition for us. That's all I feel.
Yes, so it is redefining success on your own terms. Right? We can sum it up like that.
Right. Great.
Thank you, everyone. See you again soon on our very next episode. Take care. Bye-bye.